man, and not being no medical dude or none of that shit, right? But in my day job, where I went and got tested, I passed it every day, right? And it was a cattle call for months. And just as the numbers started increasing in Houston, the positive tests, the testing sites started slowing down, right? And now they're open, but it's almost non-existent. So I was thinking, just for my own, and I'm not giving anybody any opinions to listen to. I'm just saying from me watching. I said, okay, all the results are coming in from these people getting tested, but less people are getting tested after 3 months. And then I paid attention, and I said, yeah, the people who are really struggling, dying from COVID, or the elderly and the people with preconceived, not preconceived, what they call it? Precondition. So you got two faucets. You got a group of people who feel like, it ain't shit. Because some of them may even had corona. And it was nothing. They were sick for a day or two and it was over. And then you have the terrible, the terrible side of it. So the one thing I'm certain about is nobody's certain. and if you're sick or preconditions, you need to be extra vigilant. And while the rest of the people might get flu and then shake back, they're not even testing no more, man. So I think they testing, but ain't nobody gonna get tested. I think we've seen what it is, how bad it's gonna be, and as long as it's sticking around, older people with asthma, people with respiratory issues, if they get it, it's gonna be bad. Whereas the young guys in the gym, they're strong, virile. They if they get it, they might go get sick for a day or two and come back. So that's the fine line that we walk with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have next fight up was gonna be in the bubble, right? I had to get tested. I had to get Robert tested. It was gonna be a bubble. It was gonna be precautionary like they do in Vegas, and they still shut it down. But I think they shut it down because, like I'm saying, it's better to err on the side of caution rather than become, and I'm sure that's what they're looking at, become in any kind of way liable for something. You know what I'm saying? You know how people are sued because you hurt my feelings. So if you get corona and somebody, look, was Rocha, do we know if Rocha had corona? Was that what happened with him? Or no?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't hear if he had it or not.
Okay, well, we know Termite had it and how bad it was when he had it. He wasn't going good at all. So I think that's what it is. You got to deal with a certain amount of people not wanting to be liable for anything, But with that comes fighters suffering, promoters suffering, trainers suffering, gym suffering. So but everybody's suffering. So what you gonna do? You got to stay vigilant, man. If you're in the high risk side, I think, but it just sucks, man. This whole 2020 been a loss, bro. The whole 2020, man.
That's why you gotta think of new ways to be ahead of it. Like, so every day at the gym before anyone comes in, I make sure they take a shot of Lysol, because that shit just cleans everything. You gotta have proper precautions in place.
I'll take 2.
Yeah,
let's roll.
No, we do not endorse that. I don't want to get sued or shut down.
Alfonso, I've been paying attention to the light heavyweight division now for a minute on purpose. Fuck, boxing's deep, bro, right now. Boxing is deep, man. I like to say that junior middleweight is probably the deepest division. But then when I start looking at welter, light heavy, middleweight, super middle, every fucking thing is wide open, bro. 2020 been fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like we about to go through a renaissance, man. Like in the late 80s, early 90s, bro. That's how many great boxers is out there. Great boxers, you know. I know you got to be looking at that light heavy division and thinking of ways to plot and plan and maneuver. What you think, man? It's deep, bro. It's deep. Like the top 10 light heavyweights are all bad motherfuckers, man. All of them, in one way or the other, you know.
Yeah.
What you
it's very deep. It's very deep. And what it comes down to, you know, on my end, what it comes down to is the fact that, you know, I am, you know, like a free agent per se. You know what I mean? I'm flying my own route, and so, you know, I'm kind of at the will of either, you know, trying to find somebody else in that middle section of the top 10 to fight and bring to Texas, or I have to wait for that phone call.
right.
It puts you in a bind to just got to be ready to accept any one of them. You know, at the end of the day, you just have to be ready to fight any guy that you get the phone call for, you know, but then being, you know, me as a fighter who's just a little bit different than a lot of those guys and come up a little bit different, you know, I mean, I may just not even ever get that phone call. You know, you just don't know what the way the business is and, you know, the times are right now, just because everything is up in the air. You know, you kind of just have to, you know, that's why we're at the gym staying ready, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But man, is it deep? Yes. Are some fighters going to be more avoided than others, especially those champions? You know, Beterbiev, you know, those guys. You know, not everybody wants to just jump in the ring with those guys. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you get that phone call, you know, whether it's, you know, short time, low money, you know, you hope that, you know, you're going to have to be ready so you can take that opportunity to just shock somebody, shock the world. And, you know, it's very difficult to put yourself in that situation, because, you know, all cards are stacked against you. But at some point, you just got to take that gamble. You got to take that opportunity.
Man, I think, you know, I think the good thing about the podcasting, and we got people that watch, you know, I got named people that watch, you know, and then, you know, the popularity, I try not to cater to nobody. I call myself catering to just good boxing, you know, but then even that's left up to interpretation. But the thing I love about this podcast, and I think that people love about it, is they get some insight on how shit works. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of fans and fan podcasts and stuff, man, that they're strictly fans, and I watch them. I watch some of the podcasts. You know, it's fun to listen to these guys talk. Some of them know the sport. Some of them is wrong as two left shoes. But what they don't understand is the background to this podcast and why we have fighters like yourself. And I try to get all fighters, veterans like yourself with titles and ranks, world rankings, man, to the amateurs. We done had amateurs, you know, new pros, all that type of stuff. Because they don't understand, man. You got, although Alfonso, and correct me at any time if I'm straying on your situation, but sure, Alfonso Lopez is the final say. Because, like you said, you're a free agent. You know, at the end of the day, you say yeah or no. But there's management. You know what I'm saying? You have business partners, and everybody's got to be on that same page. And everybody can say, you know, it's like let's say Beterbiev comes, right? This is a perfect example. Beterbiev got I think the IBF title and the WBC, maybe. He got two of the titles, right? And Bivol got the other. So Beterbiev people call and say, Alfonso, you up, man. You top 10 in the world. This is your ticket. We're gonna punch. And you say, okay, what's the price? And they go, oh man, we're gonna give you 50 grand for this. And you go, 50 grand for like two world titles. And then say Joe Smith Jr. calls, and he ain't got no title. They need a fighter. They want a world rank fighter, and they offer you $250,000. Well, the fans are gonna say, he wants the Super Bowl, right? He's supposed to go fight this guy. I'm supposed to go fight this guy for 50 grand. and quadruple it over here. But guess what? If I beat Joe Smith Jr., that just made Better BF fight more valuable when I fight. People don't understand that shit, bro, and it gets frustrating. And this is far outside of the realm of us sitting down and formulating a plan how to beat somebody, right? Because even that's a whole different part. That's a whole different part. Like if we sit down and say, all right, man, we gotta fight Jesse Hart, the light heavyweight, the ranked heavyweight from Philly. All right, how we beat this guy? Let's check him. Let's study him and all this type of shit. But then his offer comes through and it ain't shit. Well, you can't do that, man. I don't think people understand, man, how frustrating, and it frustrates you because most fighting men are feel just like you feel. I got to be ready and fight whoever. I don't think none of them names keeps Alfonso Lopez up at night. He don't wake up in a sweat going, oh, I'm gonna fight that. Fuck no, man. If we gotta fight, we gotta fight. But if it's a business deal and you sitting there going,
gotta fight.
Do I make this $250,000 or do I make somebody happy to get 50 grand against this guy? They don't understand that, bro.
That's something that we talked about early on when we first started the our management company was the fight. Sometimes inside the ring is a lot easier than the fight that we got going on the outside, dealing with promoters, dealing with other managers, dealing with the promotion company. I mean, you got to go through all kinds of shit just to have, a fight at the end of the night. And sometimes you got to go through negotiations. And like Coach says, the business side of it, motherfucker, offering you $50,000 to fight a 2-belt champion versus a 250, and people not seeing that on the outside might start saying you're ducking somebody. Now, with you being your own promotion company, how is it for you to navigate that with some of these, national and global companies, Top Rank, the Zone? I mean, how do they treat you and how do they look at you when it comes to getting you matched up?
I mean, I think they look at me stylistically. Every time we get the phone calls, it's more of a stylistically style for them, and then they look at, they like the ranking. Obviously, they like who we beat, but if they look at you and me as a business, they look at me as a fighter, as a business. They go like, okay, if we have our young champion fight this guy and he starches our guy or beats our guy, obviously in the contract they're gonna bound me to them. You know what I mean? That's a given. That's gonna happen. They're gonna say like, hey, we're gonna give you the opportunity, but if you win, we have options on your next 3 fights, whatever they want to come up with, but they're gonna somehow try to keep you so that they always keep it in house. I mean, look at the fights that are happening. They're all in house. It's all in house money. It's all top ranked guys are fighting top ranked guys. They are partners. I mean, just look at what's happening there. So like Beterbiev is in top rank. The only other outsider is Bivol, who's with somebody else. But I mean, it's all kind of housed in with one another. So when they look at me and they call, they basically either going to go stylistically, is he going to beat our guy? Maybe we should just maybe. And so make him go earn some more shit the hard way, and then when we have to give him the opportunity. And that's what I've been doing my whole career. Since I fought Kelly Pavlik. You know what I mean? And, I come up short, but I was green.
Man,
I just took the fight to take the fight, but it was that opportunity. And then it was like, phone calls didn't really. A couple more came, but it was still not what you thought was going to happen. And when you stay solo, I think it makes it a little more difficult. But I earned it however, like the other day, I made a post that just earned the hard way. It's earned the hard way. I've just, you look at Joe Smith. I had won that belt Joe Smith fought for. I was going to fight Carpenti to as my defense. Carpenti, not because anything we did. He pulls out a week before the fight or 2 weeks before the fight. We find Grachev to step in on a short notice to fight us for it. We get approval from the WBO that, okay, hey, we're not going to sank. We can't approve Grachev coming off a loss, but we're gonna